Look at this. We're right back in the exact same place we were. Nothing's changed except for my clothes. Mustache is 1 day longer. 1 day longer is mustache. But this is what's going on. So where I left off yesterday, we got to make some changes to the muffler. I got drawings and dimensions. That's already been set out. Muffler should be here a couple days, maybe more. And the head pipe, we have a new head pipe coming from Harley Davidson because we got the European head pipe, which has a gigantic cat on it. We want a little short cat. So we have the American version coming, and then we're going to put it back together. So right now, I'm just putting the stock, or not actually stock, the exhaust that I made originally back on the bike. I'm not going to waste any time putting heat shields on it or any of that because it's just going to be on here for some testing because we have I got the trees back from the scanner. We just got those scanned. We're going to be bringing out our own trees and a bunch of other fancy stuff that's coming real soon. We'll be drawing that up later this week. I'll take you guys on that ride probably. But I'm going to put the front end back together, get this thing rideable. So as we're waiting for this stuff to come in so I can finish this project, we have a whole bunch of American suspension components back there that I'm going to start putting together today and start getting that together so we can get you suspension as fast as we can, and then we can get you exhaust as fast as we can after that because the parts are going to be rolling. Then we will be going to Saddlemen. There will be seats coming out. There is going to be a whole bunch of parts coming, and we are pushing very, very hard to make this happen. So right now, I'm just putting the exhaust back on. Trent went to go get me some neck bearings. We do not have neck bearings for this in stock. He went to get those. I already pressed the stem back into the tree, and then we're going to put this back together, and we'll be getting back to you real quick with some real hot boy suspension shit coming at you. I'm pumped about that. Super pumped. So I'm going to get it rideable so we can test these different spring rates and see how we like things. And I kind of need to check the motor because I do believe I might have damaged it in Sturgis. I got a little hyped at the shows. Second gear limiters for a long period of time until the pipe was glowing red. And then the radiator blew the cap and the fluid all blew out of it, and then I overheated the motor, and I held her on limiter for several more minutes after that, and I probably did that 4 times throughout the weekend. Had to fill it full of radiator fluid. She's still running. Wasn't running as good, but was still running in Sturgis. It looked like I had a little oil in the radiator. I might have blown a head gasket, which if I didn't blow a head gasket, I would be amazed because I cooked it. I cooked it bad. It's not like the old air-cooled ones where you can just run them till they just overheat and they just get hotter than shit and they just shut down. And then you let them cool down. They're usually pretty good. Maybe a few less miles in their life left in them, but they're still pretty good. The water-cooled ones, the tolerances are tight. They have to stay that temperature. They can't overheat them like that because it's all aluminum and you can't pop a head gasket, but maybe I didn't. Maybe she's perfectly fine. If it is, I'd be blown away because this motor's probably got 150 miles on it now, and it has been nothing but Stunt Lot limiter burnouts and limiter. I have beat the shit out of it. So honestly, if this motor holds up to me and I haven't damaged it already, I'll be impressed. I don't think that's possible, but I'll be impressed. I beat it way too hard for a fresh motor and overheated it way too hot. Way too hot. Way too hot, but she still runs. So I'm gonna get to work. Check in with you in a second. Well, I took a little gear change. The head pipe from Harley Davidson already came in. We ordered it yesterday, right? 2 days ago, already came in today. That's pretty astonishingly fast. So this pipe isn't right, but I have this spreader. I'm gonna try and spread this dude as much as I can so I can just get it on there. I wanna hear what the muffler sounds like with a catalytic converter before I get too far, because if it sounds like shit, then I guess we'll take a different route, but we're gonna try it out. I also don't know if I can really press this dude out that much. My press is fucking shot too. There she goes. Spread her on out there, bud. Look at that, she's a flared hole. See if she fits. Well, I just spreaded her hard and she's still not going to fit. So I'm gonna go open this dude up and put it on because I'm gonna have to spread the hell out of this and I'd rather have this on and not have to battle it afterwards. So we're gonna put this dude on, go back to the spreader, and we're just gonna hammer it. We're gonna hammer her home, see what happens. Here's where we're at. I'm putting the head pipe back on, the new factory head pipe. I swedged this dude out real hard. It's not gonna happen. That's really what it boils down to. 3 inches not going over 3 inch period. So We are going to do a V8 swap in Trent's BMW E46 drift car. He's got a cammed LS for it we're going to put in this winter. And I'm going to build a nice 3-inch stainless exhaust all the way out the back with a nice little stealth canister sticking out there. That'll be fun. Honestly, really looking forward to that. Head pipes on. Trent is putting some bearings on the trees right now, and then I'm going to get the front end together, and then we'll get on that suspension. There she be. Top guy's already in there. We just run the stock one that was in there.
The dust sealed up top.
Yeah.
Is the dust seal up there also?
Yeah. No,
Talking's hard.
Words are hard.
No.
Dust seal's there?
Yep, everything's there.
Awesome.
Just stand here and hold this for a while. Oh, shit.
Whoa!
Uh-oh. That dude's got to tuck in behind this muff. And what about this shit? Is that going in front of it too?
Oh wait, no. This went under.
Let's bring these up here. Hold on. We got, looks like lots of things that need to go different ways. That probably goes over the top of the tree. Yep. There she goes. Finger blast that dude in there.
Finger blast.
These probably do go behind that a little bitish. Those will do. Oh man, that'd be real convenient if this dude just fit right now. And sure as shit does not. So I'll have to get some tools. We're gonna finish this front end. We'll get back to you guys when that's all together. We're gonna move the bike next door and we're gonna start building some rear suspension. Trent is changing the back tire because she was still smoked from being out there in Sturgis. So while he is doing that, I am doing a little mock-up right now of a fairing that I want to put on here. Look straight. I got a Sportster fairing that I really want to cut this dude into it and get it to fit up in here pretty nice and move it back. I just got to see how far I got to go and if I can even get to the mounts. Like I think I can, because I think it's gonna be real tight. But if I can make this happen, that would look pretty sick. And it would give me a little bit of wind protection. Like riding this thing on the freeway with no fairing or nothing sucks. So he's almost done with the tire. I'm only gonna work on this until he gets to that guy back in there, and then we'll pop some shocks on and see what happens. Okay, today's the day, big suspension day. These are American suspension. They are partnered up with us. We're gonna try these out. These are the stiletto style. We're gonna try these out, get the spring rates set up. We've got 2 different spring rates here. We're gonna mess with the valving. There's like 64 ways of adjustment right here, I believe. Our rep is out super sick right now, so I'm waiting to get you guys an exact tech sheet on this, but this thing is extremely adjustable. We've got preload adjustment, dampening adjustment, and it's nitrogen filled, I believe is what this little dude is down here. It's like the nitrogen penis. Gonna be dope though. They're 15s. They come from like 10 inch to 16 or 18, some kind of crazy shit. They're made to order. All their stuff is on the shelf. It is a pretty short lead time for being made to order. I believe it's under 3 weeks. These stuff will all be available on KruesiOriginals.com once we've done, tested them, beat on them, and we know that it's something we want to sell and they're up to par. So far, they look beautiful. I would prefer not to have a chrome spring. I want to try and get a change on that before they go out. I'd rather them be maybe a semi-gloss black with the billet pieces would look really, really nice. Or maybe a bronze even, look pretty sick. But I also think they do a bunch of crazy different custom colors. We can set these up any way that you want to. So right now on the bike, I've got 15-inch progressives. They are for a Sportster, which a Sportster weighs 100 pounds more than this motorcycle does. So these are not, they're not it. Like, don't go buying these thinking you're gonna get some good Nightster suspension. It's not it. The spring rate is wrong, the valving is wrong. The bolt hole size is also off, so it does bolt up. It is pretty solid, but it's not accurate. It's not actually correct. This is a metric, so the diameter, the outside diameter of the bolt is a little bit smaller than the inside diameter of the shock, so that could cause an issue down the way, especially if it's not torqued properly. I do not recommend this setup. I just using this so I could see what the height felt like, but it only has about this much stroke, and then it just feels like a rigid. It's sprung way too tight. If you look at the difference like between the size of these coils and the size of these coils, this is a much, much lighter spring here. This is a much, much lighter bike. This thing only weighs like 450, I think 465 wet. We lost about 25 pounds killing the exhaust, all that stock bracketry. So she's probably around 450, 460 right now, I would say, which is light, especially compared to a Sporty. So I'm gonna yank this shit off and get to it. These dudes are right on it. Woo! We put out that we were looking for somebody to do suspension work with, and American Suspension hit us up immediately, like, we're ready to go. Let's do something. Like, hell yeah. I've been wanting to use American Suspension on something for a long time. The boy out in Denver, Rebel Dean, runs their stuff, and it looks really sick. It looks like a high quality suspension. Will you lower that jack just a little bit? These are just a hair shorter than the Progressives. A little more, a little more, a little more. I'd say eye to eye, these are about an 1/8 inch shorter. So, been interested. Wanted to do this with Legends. Gave them the first offer on it because that's who we normally work with. I love that company, but they did not want to do anything with this bike. So, American Suspension is on board. We're gonna try them out. I haven't used them. If they suck, I'm gonna tell you they suck. If they're awesome, you'll know all about it because I'm gonna beat the shit out of this thing. I'm gonna set this preload at 0, and then we'll play from there.
Damn, these are fucking nice, dude.
Yeah, this is the extreme quality stuff. This is gonna be their entry-level shock. This could be about $1,000 shock, under 1,000. I think you said it's around
8 something, 8 and some change.
Yeah, so probably about $1,000 after tax and everything. You get a lot more shock right here than anything else in the $1,000 range for the most part. The piggyback is, I think, around the $1,600 range. Actually, it's not a piggyback, it's a full remote reservoir with line reservoir mounts. And that one's gonna be, that's probably what we're gonna end up running, but I wanna try out the base model so everybody can kind of see what all the levels are like and what we have to offer. Every level for every rider. Which, do you need remote reservoirs on a Nightster? Absolutely not. But, is it cool? Abso-fucking-lutely. And they look good. I would rather the springs be satin black and then all that machined, because the machine work is beautiful.
Yeah, the machining is sick.
And then just do a nice satin black spring on it, which I'll just powder coat them ourselves. Not satin, sorry, hate satin. Semi-gloss. Gives it that kind of industrial finish, like the brake pedals and the trees and the stem, all that shit's semi-gloss. That'll look real nice. Oh, I need to torque my side.
Why do you hate satin?
I just don't like satin.
Sockets
This
over
is the
here.
only bike that I've ever liked with like a satin paint job. I think it looks cheap most of the time. I think the reason I like this one is because it has so much gloss, and then the badging is just super sick. It sets it off, but otherwise I would be painting this thing fast. I don't like satin black. Satin white's nice, or satin color. I feel like satin black, like you need an alcoholic sticker or a buck country hat or something like that, or a Bush Light, and it's not me. This looks like a spray can. That's why I don't like satin. It feels like I did some patio furniture in my backyard. This looks like a production piece. Well, here we are. I mean, we got shocks. Let's jack down, see what kind of sag we got. Hold on, let me get a tape measure. This thing is dead on 15 inches. That's a dead on 15-inch shock where the Progressives were not. The Progressives are 15 1/4. She's on her own weight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it feels like it has suspension now. That's a 1/4 inch of sag right there just off the bike, which the bike weighs nothing, so let's drop it on the ground. It sounds like it even has suspension.
It goes.
Man, I haven't rode this with any real suspension yet. It's just had a brick on the back the whole time. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. You want to unclamp me up there, bud, and let me roll off this big old rig? Don't you know? So you think I can do this without eating shit?
It'd be really funny if you do.
God, please don't break. I just don't want it to break my shins when it rolls off backwards real violently. There we go. We're fine. Everything's fine. Man. I haven't done shit to the suspension yet, but it feels better than
It actually moves like.
Yeah, it feels good. Listen to it. All right, well, take a measurement when she's up in the air and see how much I'm squatting this thing. I'm gonna shoot for like 3/4 to 1/2 inch of sag. That's where I like to set up a stunt bike for the most part, fairly stiff.
Oh man, it feels good to sit down. 14 and a half.
Really?
Center to center, yeah.
Sitting on a 1/2 inch,
13 and 7/8.
so we can crank her up a bit. All right, we'll put a little preload in it.
And this is.
It's a 1 inch right now.
Yeah. Where are you going?
Let's take it down 1/2 inch. I don't know if these are heavier or the lighter springs that they sent us. They're not marked, so I'm gonna run these because this actually feels like I'm pretty well there. And then wait till homeboy gets back. Also, these are also built to use, so we're testing them out to see how they are ride-wise and make sure it's up to our par, you know. But when you do order this from us, there'll be a whole like weight setup, rider setup, all that stuff. Man, it feels pretty good here. Bounce around on it with your smaller self. Feels a little stiff, like I could probably back it off a little bit for like a normal bit of riding, but
Oh, it actually like.
it moves, yeah.
Yeah, like this used to just be like a brick. It was
It was
like.
like you'd go drop and you'd go,
Yeah.
but nothing happened. It just was there.
This feels really good.
15's a must. You could probably go 16s on this thing, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like the taller the better when it comes to this thing. What did they say they can go? They can go to like...
It was 16 or 18. It was something insane. I think 16s would be, I think 15s would be your average, and 15s are like running a 13.5 on a Dyna, and 16s would probably be like running a true 14.
Yeah, I'm tiptoed on my Dyna, so like...
Yeah.
If
The
these
front's low too, though.
True.
The front needs to come up quite a bit, which we have a remedy coming for that. And I also had a very great epiphany in the bathroom this morning.
Were you taking a shit?
I was.
Was it a
thinking about
nice
stuff.
one?
Well, yep.
Everything came out fine?
I was mostly just thinking about things.
That's good.
I have an idea of how to make this thing taller in the front for cheaper than putting drop trees on. The drop trees would be way cooler because they'll have more steering angle and all the cool shit. But I have another part I want to make. Now that we can scan things, we're gonna make a lot of stuff. All right, well, we're gonna put it back on the lift. We're gonna put a set of our foot pegs on it real quick, so I'm pretty excited about that. These ones are a little small. And Saturday morning, which today is what, Thursday? Saturday morning, we're gonna go to the lot, and I'm gonna do some riding on this. We are holding our little locals only contest where we're gonna pick 10 people, give them a golden ticket, and then they get to compete in our event at Sanctuary October 12th here in Phoenix, Arizona at Wild Horse Pass. That is going to be Metro Mayhem. The whole comp is going down. Big comp, pro comp, and we're gonna have an amateur class with 10 guys. The winner of the amateur class gets a seat in the pro class in the next coming event of next bike week, and so on from there. Earns you a pro card, basically. We're gonna be doing this at our events from here on out, so if you're looking to be like going pro, this is kind of the way to get into it, I guess. It's your first step. First step to get your hat in the old ring, you know? So we're gonna go out there, we're gonna watch a bunch of locals, pick 10 guys that we think would be the best and the safest in a lot, because that's really what it comes down to. I don't care about how many one-off tricks you can do. If you can't safely ride around a group of people, then you can't ride stunt shows. So that's what's important, and that your bike is safe. If you're riding a clapper, you're not gonna get in either. But I'm gonna get a little ride time in this. We'll film it. I'm gonna test out the shocks. That'll be like the first step in making sure that these things are dialed. But just sitting on it, oh my God, dude. After like, from the stock stuff, not so good, to everything that we've tried just for height-wise, definitely not good at all. I had Dyna shocks in there, and that was a rigid. That was 100% just straight up rigid. And then the Sportster shocks were still, you had like this much movement, and then it was just dead stop rigid. And this actually cycles suspension. It feels like I have good suspension on the back of my Dyna. Soon the front will be getting taller. That's the next aspect. And I think I want to race in drifter cross. So I kind of think this bike right here would be an absolute monster for that. So that's kind of something that we're going to shoot for and possibly be running this thing in November out at Willow Springs. Keep your eyes peeled. Might be a secret. Only if I can get it done in time. Like, subscribe, ring that bell. By the time this video drops, the suspension will be on the website for sale. I'll have already tried it out. If it's not on the website, it means I'm probably not going to sell it. But I think it's nice. Definitely want a different spring color. So I'm gonna change the pegs. We're gonna get rid of the little Sportster pegs, and we're gonna put on a set of two-piece Kruesi Originals pegs, the fancy boys. Got a nice round, super grippy surface, so you can really plant your foot, and good foot hooking in the bottom. But look at this, come down here. I wanna show you how easy it is to change pegs now. There's a little button you push on the peg button. Push it up like that. Uh-oh, you have to do it twice. How do you keep it pushed up for the next hole? Man, what a menace. God, it's just that easy. Spring goes back in, stick it in the old hole, flip this dude upside down. There's that, you're almost there. So many things to wiggle together. Okay, I definitely preferred the old way with the pegs for sure. Oh yeah, just slide her on there. Just like that, it just goes right on. Slide that pin right out of there, slide the new one in. Easy peasy. These guys have a nice little cammed clevis. You can turn them however you want to. I mean, like, that's pretty flat. It would be nice to have the brake pedal down. Does it have an adjustment down there below? Can you see? Nothing? No adjustments. Oh, I could take the nut off. There's no adjustment in the brake pedal, and it doesn't look like there's any way to do any adjustments, except for maybe putting a lever on it. I'd way rather the brake pedal be like down here. Because like when I'm sitting on the bike, I'm sitting forward, my feet are rotated down. It's just a little too high, a little higher than I like it. I don't like having to lift my foot to brake, but also I'll probably just have to get used to it, or maybe make our own brake pedals. But that foot peg looks good.
Email you guys a full spec list with all the different spring rates we we have, the different valving options. I'll give you guys a whole list, and you can kind of nitpick what information you feel is prevalent.
Hell yes, that would be perfect. We got them on the bike right now. We're gonna take it to the lot and test it on Saturday morning. We're filming right now for it.
Awesome, yeah, let me know what you guys think.
Do you offer the spring in different colors?
We do offer in different colors. We have raw ones that we can powder coat any color, but traditionally we send them out with just black, but we can do any color.
Okay, is this raw that you sent me then?
Oh, those ones are chrome ones. Yeah, I think the owner Vince he picked the ones just based on like your rider weight and stuff that he thought would suit you the best. They may have just been chrome there.
Okay, word. I'm just gonna powder coat these ones like a semi-gloss black to kind of match the bike. But dude, just in the shop and sitting on it, it feels phenomenal. We spent some time setting it up. We set up like a half-inch of sag right now with me on it, and she feels pretty nice.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, look forward to hearing what you think, man.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Spec sheets on the way. I do say, sir, that I like the old style foot peg clevises much better than that. This is a pain in the ass, boys. Go in the hole there, bud. These bolts, these torque to 35 foot-pounds, so you know, torque them to 35 foot-pounds. I really can't wait to get this bike dialed. You know, when it was just bone stock, it was just a really good, great riding motorcycle, and then the more you start doing to it, it kind of sucks when you're like that midway point. The back suspension feels really good. We just got to get it like semi-dialed in. The front suspension feels good, it's just too damn low, so we need to set that up. And then the tune, it needs like an exhaust and it needs a tune, because without the stock muffler, the bottom end just sucks in this thing. And not being tuned. If it was tuned, it would probably rip, but I can't wait till it's like tuned, suspension is dialed. I got a proper seat. I want to be up a little more, like an inch, so I can really sit up on the tank. I really like these wheels, but I want to put a chain drive on it, and I want to get rid of the cush drive, and I want to gear it a bit. I think a little bit of gearing would make it a little less holy shit when you wheelie it. But I think this bike is going to be amazing. I want to get it there. Impatiently waiting. You know, this ain't like everything else. This was a dyno. I just would have had a shelf full of parts as soon as we got the thing, and it would have been knocked out and would have been down the road. But this is new territory. This is whole new land. This is a virgin campus right here. A virgin campus. It's a campus full of virgins, and it's a really good time. It's a bike that no one has ever done a thing with. I know there's a couple people out there that have built some cafe-looking things and made some power with them, but no one's built any real shit for them yet. So we're stepping into a whole new land, a whole new realm, a land of mystery. See you at the lot. I got no muffler on the bike right now. She's just a straight head pipe and Cadillac converter, so don't judge me on how she sounds. It still does sound pretty rowdy, and the bike is fucking so powerful. I'll tell you what, the rear head of this motor gets real hot on the inner thighs. So far the suspension feels light years better than it did before. Just riding on the road, it feels like I have suspension instead of, you know, riding a rigid Sportster. This bike would be so good for like the Bagger Race League or Moto America. One of the V-Twin series. You could destroy anything Harley Davidson has to offer with this motorcycle right here. Except maybe the Pan America, but if I had to guess, this is probably a lot lighter than the Pan America. Or about the same, but I would think lighter. And it doesn't look bad. Pan America doesn't look good. I don't understand why anyone in the Harley Davidson that's into Harley Davidson would want to buy a Pan America. It's not a Harley Davidson, it's an adventure bike. Damn, this shit feels good. It feels real good just for riding so far. I didn't even feel it. Normally like on my dyno or a bagger or something big, you gotta kind of brace for impact right there. It's a big whoop section through the intersection. And I even loaded for it and everything, and the bike just, nothing, smooth. Man, I haven't been out on the street in a long time. I haven't been home on a weekend in a long time. God, this thing is fast. Not even like rolling all the way through the RPMs. Needs tuned really bad. Really, really fast. Rear suspension feels good. This is a rough road. Feels good. I had the suspension set up really stiff. I don't like soft suspension when I'm riding wheelies because when you hit the brakes, you know when you're braking into the wheelie, it tends to load the suspension and then unload it, so you start pogoing. Stiffer is better, although when you're learning the wheelie, softer suspension will help you get traction for the clutch up until you learn how to clutch up a wheelie, but once you get up there, stiffer's better. Wow, there's some people here already. Law Tigers is here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. What's up? What's up? Dominic? There's a lot of people here I don't know. A lot of faces I don't know here. I don't know who any of these people are. I haven't been here in a long time. I'm pretty sure that's Dylan, but I'm pretty sure Dylan was supposed to turn himself in this morning. About a week after that little session at the lot. I didn't get to film much of the lot because we had a bunch going on with the games that we were putting on. It was the amateur qualifier for the October 12th Metro Mayhem event that's going to be at Sanctuary at the Firebird Motorsports Park with Modded Culture. And to see the video from Saturday, the whole comp, it is the pre-qualifier. 9 guys competed. That video will be dropping this Sunday at 5:30 on Kruesi Originals YouTube. Check it out. If anybody's interested in being a vendor, you can go to moddedculture.com and use Krusei as a code to get you a discount on that. As far as competitor-wise goes, it's already stacked, but you can bring your drift cars out. You can compete in all the Get Vertical games. Those are open to everyone. So come out, check that out. It's going to be super sick. I have been riding the Nightster for about a week. The suspension is phenomenal. It feels great. It feels like really, really good suspension on a Dyna instead of having a rigid on a Sportster like it did before. I love the suspension. It's holding up quality-wise. Everything feels really good so far. It is available on the website right now. Next, we're going to be getting a set of reservoirs from them, and we're going to test those out and see the difference between the stilettos and the Super Baller remote reservoir setup and going from there. So stay posted. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming with the Nightster. We're going to be dyno tuning that with Trask Performance. We're going to be building exhaust, trees, and a whole bunch of fancy stuff. So like, subscribe, come along for the ride. Don't forget, for every $5 you spend on KruesiOriginals.com, enters you in a chance to win a custom motorcycle built by us. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.